Good afternoon, Flosstube. My name is Mandy. Welcome to my channel, all about cross stitch. Today is not Saturday. Where did I come up with that one from? Today is Monday, December 26th, 2022, and we are here for a WIP Parade. If you are new to my channel from, coming up with all of the WIP parades, welcome to my channel. I appreciate you pressing play, checking me out. I hope you enjoy what you see. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for pressing play, sticking around, and enjoying what I share. Welcome to everybody. Greatly appreciate all of your support. We gotta grab her. I hope you heard that. This is my cat Stitches. If you are new to my channel, she's such a gem. Everyone loves seeing her. Because I usually sit here on the couch, she loves to run across the back. So may get to see her again there. But this is my fun little gem, Stitches. Say hi. She loves to like curl up in my lap if I'm not stitching or something, but she does not like me holding her. So I had to snag her. This is actually take 2 of my video. I forgot something, so I decided to just go ahead and restart. And before, I was trying to get her to come over and she wasn't quite coming over. So you might be able to see her coming back again. But yeah, that is my black cat Stitches. She is so fun. So day after Christmas, I hope everyone who celebrates enjoyed their holidays. Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever it is that you may celebrate. If you didn't celebrate, if there's holidays that you don't celebrate, I hope you had a very relaxing weekend. And I hope you got lots of stitching in. So yeah, today we're here for a WIP Parade. Before I get diving into that though, I do want to give a sincere thank you. I received a gift, an email from Abby Top Knot Stitcher Shop, and I of course had to go and do some shopping. But it was, an anonymous viewer who was wishing me and Stitches a very Merry Christmas and graciously gifted me some funds to shop at Abby, with Abby at Top Knot. So of course I had to go and shop. So I'm not going to share all of, I did get some Christmas gifts that I'm not going to share those today because we are here for a WIP Parade, but I do want to at least show these just to be able to say thank you so much to that very gracious person that gifted me. So we had to see what we got with those ones. Of course, as one always does when they have a gift card, I spent way more than I was gifted, but hey, we're supporting a small shop, and yeah. So we got this very cute needle minder. I don't know if that's going to come into focus. If it's not focusing, imagine a world where fabric is free and cross stitch makes you thin. So I love it, and it was Abby included it on a GM thread wrap. So very cute. And then I picked up 3 patterns. So this was, I think it might have been new. I don't remember if it was on my list of, someday type of patterns or not, but it's Pickle Barrel Designs Cross Stitch To-Do List. Is this not true? Cross Stitch To-Do List. I can't read that backwards, and I was gonna try. Buy fabric, buy thread, buy more fabric, buy new charts, talk about fabric, start stitching. So true. It is charted all in DMC, but I could see this being one that I could easily go through my overdyed flosses and, pick out something from there. I have loved this series, had to get this one. Luminous Fiber Arts Gathering Berries. We've all seen this by now. It is charted in Belle Soie. Not stitching this in expensive silks. But again, I know there's some stunning reds out there, so I'll find something to stitch. And then an Autumn Land Stitchery. This was Moons Out, Brooms Out. And I am currently getting the 4th spam call today. I really hope this is not stopping my filming. I love this piece. I adore it. It is so good. It's a little bit on the big side. It's 134 by 179, but I adore Halloween stitching, and this is just, it's so good. So good. All right. So thank you again so much to the very generous gifter of that gift card. That was so very sweet of you. Really, really appreciate the support of my channel. Alrighty, let's get into the WIP Parade, shall we? I do have my designs sorted by chronological. So from the date that I started them with, I have 6 full coverage, and then the remaining non-full, so what is that, 19 non-full coverage? I do have them sorted in regards to, here's my full coverage, then we'll do non-full coverage, and then each of those in chronological order. So yeah. I don't know what I was gonna say. I do have notes here in front of me, so we'll be referring to those. And let's go ahead and just dive right in, shall we? I adore full coverage stitching. When I first got into stitching again, and I came across what full coverage stitching was, I originally learned as a child, and so, you know, of course, life, college, school, whatever, got in the way when I finally got back into it. And then I don't remember now. I remember the project that got me into the full coverage stitching, but I don't remember how I even came across it to begin with. I think I probably Google. I adore full coverage stitching. The detail that you can get out of it is just, it's incredible. Alrighty, so totally just dropped my iPad. Goodness. Alrighty, so the first one that we're going to show today, this is a one that I started in February of 2018, and so it's my furthest along full coverage piece that I have, so but it's also my oldest. Full Coverage Fanatics has all kinds of challenges, and so they've got one that's it's a focus on a finish. I was going to say something else, but it's focus on a finish, that I've been hemming and hawing of which one I wanted to choose for that. This piece has not been calling to me, and I haven't really been able to figure out why. So I'm hoping that maybe I can actually get some progress on it this year, and if not get a finish, maybe get a lot closer to a finish, because it's stalled and I can't quite figure out how to get moving on it. But it is Mini Stitching Moon, artwork from Amy Stewart, charted by Heaven and Earth. I love the design. I adore the piece. It is turning out really pretty. I don't know why I'm stalled on it. All of my full coverage is stitched on 16 count white Aida 2 strands full cross. I think part of I've debated whether I wanted to like scrap the piece and restart it. I'm way too far along to do that. But this is on some really thick Aida. It was just white Aida, probably something I had in my stash, or whatever. So it seems really thick, especially when I compare it to some of the other ones. And I don't know if it's maybe stiffer, so it's feeling, I don't know. Disregard the fact that it's kind of dirty around the edges. It's going to get washed. It's going to get framed eventually, so that's not going to be seen. But I'm noticing how yellow it's looking. So here we are. I am officially at 59.73% done. I have not stitched on this at all this year. I loaded it into Pattern Keeper when I got a good tablet earlier this year, but I haven't worked on it at all. So I'm kind of feeling like it's calling to me though, and I've been waiting at this point because I haven't touched it all year. I'm kind of just waiting for the new year with the new challenges and such. I don't know. Part of okay, so here's the thing. I've said it in videos before. Trust the full coverage stitching. Step away from it. Look at it at a viewing distance. Like right now, I've got a big one on my wall over here that it's stunning. You pull up, you know, you look up right close to it, yeah, you're gonna see some flaws. But from here, it looks amazing and you don't see those flaws. So I have to be reminded of that. But part of it is that's got me weirded out about it, I guess. And I'm not seeing it so much here, but of course I am right in front of my face, and that's what I keep needing to remind myself. I'm not liking some of the colors that's in the face. I understand it's a mini, you lose detail, but there's just some really weird pinks, and look at the orange, like right in the face. But I know you don't see it from here. It's probably just some of the confetti that slowed me down. There is going to be a large patch of white across multiple pages here. So yeah, I just need to actually pick it up and dive back into it again because I love the piece. I love how the colors, like the stars, are just so bold and standing right out. So we are finishing the year at 53%. Nope, I'm sorry, 59%. And we'll see if we can try to get something closer to a finish next year. Looking at the numbers on Pattern Keeper, I've got like 32,000 stitches remaining of this piece. So am I going to get all that in 1 year? Who knows? But we got to try something, right? Alrighty. Next piece. This is definitely a favorite of at least a couple people. We've got Mini Dark Goddess, artwork by Carol Cavalaris, charted by Heaven and Earth. I love these colors. I cannot wait to get down into these blues and oranges. There's some bright colors in the floss box of this, and I cannot wait to get to it. I've debated using this as my focus on a finish, but I'm only at 32% done on this one, and so I just keep feeling like I really should select the girl sitting on the moon. But Full Coverage Fanatics does have a number of challenges. They've got one specifically called By the Numbers, where they've got different tiers of each month stitching so many stitches. So I'm sure I'll definitely be doing much of that anyways. So here we go now. So since you would have seen this last, I was really working on, I don't even remember page numbers anymore because with me using Pattern Keeper, I can definitely turn off the page indicators, but I haven't. So I don't know how to say what page number I'm on. But I am adoring, actually, now that I think about it, I recently got a page finish on this. Since you saw it last, I think I got a page finish. I've definitely wrapped up the year getting a couple of page finishes unexpectedly. So yeah, that's, since you saw would have seen it last, I got a page finish. Shadow, I hope you're seeing this. Yeah, I can't believe I didn't even think about that. I think just I've been so focused on getting all of my WIPs together that I didn't think about where I was at last time you would have seen this in the last video or two. But yeah, look at how good that is looking. Just this one particular petal is just, flower, whatever it is, just looks amazing. So cannot wait to get more work on that. That was a huge patch of white here. I'm so glad I'm done with all of that. If I remember right too, I dropped a needle off of a needle minder earlier. I felt it hit my foot, thankfully. So I was concerned I lost a needle. I'm glad I'm through all of that white. But then actually I think if I remember right, I zeroed out a color while stitching that page finish. So that's my Dark Goddess, Mini Dark Goddess. Oh, I didn't take this next one off of the Q-Snap because I've got it too well. If you want to see it in the full view of what I've got completed, watch back a video or two, might be a couple of videos, because it's stunning, but it's so perfectly well put on my Q-snap right now, and for the page I'm working on right now, I really don't want to take it off. But we've got Mini Midnight Messenger, artwork by the wonderful Ann Stokes, charted by Hayde. I love Ann Stokes' artwork. She is definitely probably one of my favorite full coverage. She just, all of the artwork is amazing. All of these artworks are amazing, honestly. But we are currently at 34.38% complete. And like I said, this is really not going to look like a whole lot. But I'm definitely working on that the owl wingspan. So I'm up in here. Oops. Is where I'm at. I have been using this piece this year for the Full Coverage Fanatics 22 and 22. So last I counted, I'm at like 18,000 stitches, maybe 19,000 stitches done for the year. So I don't see me necessarily finishing that challenge, but I am so happy with the progress that I have made on this. And I'm tempted to take it off the Q-snap, but I really don't. But what I think I might be able to do, we'll see if I can find a picture of it, because it's just, it looks so good. Okay, here we go. We can at least show you a picture, because like I said, it looks amazing. So I'm back under working over here and starting to, like, that big patch of blue is over here, and then getting that owl span in here. So when I first started this at the beginning of the year, I'm not doing the whole, you know, beginning side-by-side views or anything like that. Obviously, I'm using my iPad, so I'm not doing any kind of editing or anything. But I know I looked back at my starting picture of this, and I was somewhere before like that owl was even done. I don't think that page had even been done yet. So I stitched all that top row worth of pages, and then getting down in here, and I'm at like 18,000 something stitches, 19. So I love this piece. I definitely debated using this for my focus on a finish, but I focused on it this year for the 22 and 22. So I really don't want to I've got enough full coverage that I can mix it up and go for something else. So yep, that's where I'm at. I cannot wait to get more of that owl finished. His face is going to be somewhere in this general vicinity right around here, and it's going to be amazing. So I started that one in April 2021. I think I said that I'm at 34% of that one. So now the next 3 full coverage we're going to share is all 2022 starts. I remember watching Leanne, Small Town Stitches, fellow Michigander. She has multiple designs with artwork by Donna Gelsinger. And so I jumped onto the Heaven Earth website one random Saturday in January, and I was going through all kinds of artwork, found one, bought it, had the material in stash, had many threads already in stash, went that same weekend and bought the rest of the thread. I remember doing that with Midnight Messenger as well. It was a random, that one me and my sister were talking about. I found it and I started that weekend. This one was watching, I remember stopping watching Leanne's video, whatever weekend it was, went and found this, got the materials, all that good stuff together. Donna Gelsinger, artwork by Donna Gelsinger, and this one is called Mini Serenity Lane and charted by Heaven and Earth. And I just got one page finish on this. Oh yeah, no, I didn't even get the first page finish. Other things fun details that I had noted here. I finished 4 pages in Mini Dark Goddess in 2022. 4 pages also in on Midnight Messenger. I have not yet completed a page finish on Serenity Lane. So I am up here in that corner, working on that chapel. This is one of the smaller pieces I think that I have, so it's not gonna be too big. It's only, I think if I remember right, there went the stitches. If I remember right too, that this is only like 12 pages of the pattern. Holy crap. A murder of crows is outside my wall, my patio. Like 6 just came flying through. Earlier, if you're watching today and you follow me on Instagram, StitchingBee82, I posted it in my stories. This morning I opened up the patio door and there were sliding door blinds, not the door itself, and there were like 5 crows outside. There were 4 in the picture. I stopped taking the picture, you know, as soon as I put the camera down, a 5th one come flying through, and now 6 just went flying through. Goodness. Anyways, Mini Serenity Lane artwork, Donna Gelsinger, Heaven and Earth. So I am finished with all of this around in here, so I'm just, you know, kind of working and filling here. Why it looks like there's so many gaps in there, if you have not seen my videos before, especially because of Pattern Keeper, I will pick a symbol and I will stitch as far as I can go, whether with that thread or I'm getting a new one. But a lot of the times I will, like on like the page or so that I'm working on, or within reason, I mean, I'm not going to go try counting over here where there's all white space, but what fits in the Q-snap and within reason, I tend to grab a floss color, pick a symbol, grab the floss, and stitch what I can within that Q-snap area. My favorite Q-snaps, as you can see on this one, is 11-inch Q-snaps, and so that's actually, you know, easily fitting multiple pages worth. In fact, yeah, wrong piece. There's another one that where I was working at fit across like 4 different pages, and I was just working away. Like I said, with Pattern Keeper, you can turn off the page mark indicators and just keep stitching. And so I just, for some reason, I keep those dotted lines on there. But so another one, another full coverage. We've got 2 left. This is my only non-Heaven and Earth one, but I had come across something from Pain Free Crafts, and so I was looking on their website. I had shown my sister a piece that she would like, and then I got to looking for myself, and I came across this one, got it pretty quickly, and got it charted up, or pack, you know, kitted up. So this is Dragonfly Clock artwork. I believe the name is Marine Loop. Again, charted by Pain Free Crafts. I am still just up in this section up here. I did get page 1 completed, but this is definitely the one that I was working on multiple pages, and I'll show you. I cannot wait to get to that dragonfly. Those wings are gonna look so cool. I believe this is going to be my largest full active, or you know, full coverage. It's a decent size. It won't be the finish to have completed as of right now. I've already got a big one completed. But here we go. So page 1 ended somewhere like around here. So we've got page 1, page 2, and because of how much confetti is in this leaf, I literally just worked across what I could. So I'm pretty sure it was somewhere around here that I was working across 4 different pages, and it's looking so good. So there's a ton of background, tons of light colors. This one, I don't know if I said Mini Serenity Lane, I'm at 9.88%, and no pages yet completed on this one. So Dragonfly Clock, it's the one that's the least amount done. I'm at 4.46%, but I did complete page 1. Man, this one's kind of calling to me. I've been stitching already today. It's 1:45. I'm off work week this week, and I'm looking forward to getting so much stitching done. Something on the phone. But this one's kind of calling to me. I don't know. We'll see what I get to stitching on when I get all of this done. Alrighty, my most recent full coverage that I started. I'm not stitching this one for myself. I'm stitching this for my mom. She knows about it. She picked it. So, little backstory if you haven't heard before. I learned to stitch from my mom, and when she's kind of come and gone from working on stitching and that. On the floor. So she's gotten into some full coverage stitching as well. At one point, I think it might have been her first full coverage. She got so bogged down with confetti, she didn't like it. She put it down. My sister has since adopted that piece and is working on stitching it for her. And then it'll go back to my mom to get framed and all of that when it's done. So I decided, hey, why don't I do that for you as well? Because she started other full coverage stitching, even though, but, and then, like everyone else, oh, squirrel, let's go stitch something else. And so she's got multiple projects on the go. So I offered to her as well, hey, I'll take another piece and do the same thing that my sister's doing. But then I came across this design, and so I offered her, you want this one? Or like, you want me to take on one of your former projects that you've put aside, or do you want me to stitch this one? And she chose this one. She absolutely loves like the blues and the teals and, certain greens that are in that same family. So I was not surprised one bit that she wanted to stitch this. And the funny thing is I've wanted to stitch it as well, but knowing it's her colors, I didn't want to just go and stitch it for myself. So I'm excited that she wanted to stitch it, and boy, is this thing bringing me life. I love this piece. So it is Mini Sea Opal, artwork by Elizabeth Welker, charted by Hayden. And I am up here. I have one page finished. I am 10.18% complete. I love Pattern Keeper for all those details. I love, love, love this piece. It is on my Q-snap, but we're going to go ahead and take this bar off so you can see page one. And here we go. So like I said, page one is done. And then I just, again, because I can pick a symbol and I stitch to where I can go with it, man, it's just, I'm blown away by how good it looks. I love this piece. Love it, love it, love it. All right, before I get lost in the Q-snap thing. Alrighty, so that is it for my full coverage. We are half an hour in, almost, and that is my full coverage. Precarious little stack here, which is funny to say that I've got 19 whips right here, and it's not as big of a stack as you would think to say 19 whips. So I do have a whip that I am not going to share today. So it's not included in that 19 full coverage or 19 non-full coverage, 6 full coverage. But I am loving working on this piece. I had the incredible honor to be selected to stitch a model stitch for Michelle Garrett, Bendy Stitchy Designs, and I love the piece. All I can say about it is that it is using Fox and Rabbit Ada and Sulky flosses, and it is good. Trust me, it's good. So huge thank you to Michelle for picking me to stitch that for her, and it was incredible. We were talking one day, and I'm an Ada stitcher. It's all I know how to stitch on. I have dabbled with Monaco, decided I didn't like it. Ada's my my spot. And so when she was talking to me about stitching it, she's saying something about finding linen to stitch on. And I said, you know, as much as I want to model stitch for you, I really don't think learning to stitch on linen is going to be the time, you know, working on a model and learning to stitch on linen. That's just not going to be, those don't go together. And she's like, oh yeah, that's right. Let me go back to the drawing board. She wanted to see if she could find an Ada that matched the color that she was looking for. And in her talks with Fox and Rabbit, they offered to dye her Ada. And so it was amazing because I guess up until that point, they only dyed other fabrics. So now they started getting into Ada. I don't know how easily you can find Ada at this point from Fox and Rabbit. I'm looking forward to being able to get some of my own because it is good fabric to stitch on. So I do have that. I'm loving working on it, but I can't share it. So, it was going to be planned for an expo start, but of course, expo has decided to no longer, at least for 2023. So whatever her timeline fits, I've got a deadline, so we're gonna work on it. All right, WIPs. Let's get back into it. So oldest WIP. This was started sometime in November 2018 from the best I can see. I wasn't really tracking any kind of start dates or anything like that, but from what I can tell in my Instagram, this was started back in 2018. And this is from a Just Cross Stitch magazine issue in August 2017. So that's what the cover looks like. And this is the piece. So it's Bergama Borders. I'm probably butchering the name, but the design is by Banu Demirel of Siba Designs. I'll try to show. So I am really bad at pronouncing things, so I apologize for that. But I love this piece. I don't know why I let it sit down for so long. I do want to see if I can try to finish it sometime in 2023. And this one is still in a Q-snap, and so hopefully I can keep it there because it fits perfectly in an 11-inch Q-snap. It is straight across, but the way I've got it stretched out, it doesn't quite look like it. But that's as far wide as it's getting, and we don't have a whole lot left to go. I think I figured out that there's like 6 bands. So while if I did 1 band a month, that would put me into a June finish, but there's some pretty big bands on here. So it's at least a goal in mind for sometime in 2023. This has been lingering far too long. It is so pretty. I love just the minimal colors, but really pretty reds and blues. Well, red and blue. It is charted for, I think, Classic Colorworks or something, but I'm using DMC conversion. And yeah, so it's been fun to stitch the black first, and then I go and fill in whatever color calls for. So I love this piece. I need to get back to it. Let's see where I can put things without making them topple all over again. So the next piece, this is a December of 2020 piece that this is definitely on my list to get done this year. In fact, there is a Sal. It's called I Dare You Sal, S-A-L. If you look on Instagram, it's hashtag I Dare You Sal, or there is a Facebook group. Marnie's Mixed Bag, I think it's the Instagram person that's running it. Basically, you put a list together of 12 patterns that, pieces that you want to get finished this year. They have already drawn the order of those numbers from that list. So I think it's basically a challenge to get them finished in that order. We'll see if I stick to it. I've got a little cheap bullet journal that I've put together, like this monthly spread. I've gone through different Facebook groups and I've noted down different challenges. I've noted all these things down. We're going to see if I actually get to them. But at this point, the only thing that I've got is there's some projects that I want to get finished because they're close enough, or they've been lingering around far too long. Stone Street Stitch Works bookhouse. So I love this piece. I lived in, God, I cannot read backwards. I lived in books more than I lived anywhere else. I am using called for colors. It is stitched on a piece of 16 counts. Okay, where'd my piece go? Right here for me. Cream Ada. It's the orange, whatever the, what is that? Not Witchelt. What's the other one? Starts with the Z. I don't know. Whatever this. It's just a cream Ada. So I have the house done. I've got one tree. So I've got one more tree left to do in the words. So honestly, this is not going to take long to stitch at all. And this is on that list, but it's, I don't remember now what number it is. Honestly, I kind of like the idea of what Michelle Bendy has talked about, of taking a WIP and doing like before you start a WIP Parade video, after you watch their video, and seeing the progress that you can make. I feel like I could get this done in no time. But it's on that list, so I don't know. We'll figure something out. So that is my 2020 WIP, the only one remaining. And then now we're getting into 2021 WIPs. Love this piece. We three, Lindy Stitches. When shall we three meet again? In thunder, lightning, or in rain? And it's black cats. And this is stitched on a piece of, what is that, Charles Craft. I forget now. I just looked up the color name of it too, and I don't remember what it is. But it is definitely that bright of a green. It is a neon green. So I've got two cats done and part of the border, bottom border. So another one that I feel like this one would probably be a really good one for multiple WIP parades, of just being able to go to town with it being one color. It's all monochromatic. There is some little white or cream for the whiskers and such, but otherwise it is all one color. So we could get that done quite easily. We three. Keep going here. Next one. This was also a February 2021. We've got a Halloween Quaker. Leela Studio. I love this piece. This one is nowhere near a finish, so this is nowhere near a finish to-do list. But I love this piece. So I know I've worked on this since I would have shared it last. This is going to be a pretty big design. But I'll just fold it up here. This is stitched on a piece of 16 count Picture This Plus Ada in the color J. So yeah, that is looking so good. I think the last time I worked on this, just for a little semi-sane stitchers challenge, was in the moon where the witch is sitting on. I have seen other people talk about using like a glow-in-the-dark floss for that, and I thought about doing it, but I already had the floss for it, so we went ahead and did that. Oh my gosh. This town is so good. I gotta do a zoom on. Look at this little town. That was so fun to stitch. I loved it. I did end up getting this on the pattern, even though I've got a paper pattern. I did end up getting the PDF from Leela Studio Etsy page to have a PDF, or, oh, I said buying PDF, to go into Pattern Keeper. Now granted, it's not going to fully work for everything because it doesn't take into account back stitches, but I was getting so lost going from page to page that I decided I wanted a Pattern Keeper compatible. It is, like I said, it's just not going to have your back stitching in it. But for what I needed it for, and the purpose of the fact that this was going across 2 different pages, it came in so handy so that I wasn't getting, you know, things miscounted and off, to be able to do that. I still have to do the back stitching of the spider web here. This is going to be one of the last things to do because of the long stitches. I didn't want to get that messed up in my Q-snap. But yeah, all called for colors. I decided to spoil myself with all the classics. So, looking good. Love this piece. And moving on, I'm pretty sure this is another piece that I have not worked at all this year, but I'm showing it anyways. This is on my list to finish at some point this year. Forbidden Fiber Co. Fight Like a Girl. There goes stitches. I bought this in there was a themed box, Fight Like a Girl, that came with all the fabric. Well, it's the fabric, all the flosses. It is charted in with the flosses in Forbidden Fiber Co. This was started in June of 2021, and it was a very fitting start for me at the time. I was going through some health issues, and it was a good fit for the time. So here we go. This is stitched on the called for Forbidden Fiber Co. It is 14 counts. Rose petal dyed by Forbidden Fiber. So I've got that flame done. Not done, no. I've really been working on the flame. And then whatever that is around the flame, still in the words. So again, another piece that I can just sit and focus on. I could get it done. I remember getting that border done, having to frog it because it wasn't lining up, but we're all matched up now so that I can just fill in the rest of it. One I would like to definitely get finished in 2023. Alrighty, another digital picture. I'm pretty sure this was a gift chart from a Michelle Bendy Stitches Patreon. I don't remember when though. But I started it in also June of 2021. So you're okay. I love this design. I love this piece. So, funny story. We'll share it here. It is stitched on a piece of grab bag from Color and Cotton. It's pretty good color there. No clue what the color name is. I am only using one strand, which from here doesn't look too bad. Up close, it's looking a little sparse. I pulled all over-dyed flosses for this. I just went through my, boxes of floss, and I just kind of did well, I need some blues, I need some reds, purples, whatever. I don't know if there's purple, but... So I pulled similar colors. It's just my own conversion for that. So the funny story with this, like I said, I'm using one strand. I was in the impression that this was an 18 count, if not a 20 count, when I started it. So that's why I went with one strand, because it looked like it was pretty tight. Yeah, the last time I was working on this, it's a 16 count. It is totally a 16 count, Ada. Which is my hot spot. That is my sweet spot. So why I'm using one strand on 16 count is beyond me. I just remember figuring out that it had to have been like a 16 or I'm sorry, a 18 or 20. So I figured let's just do one strand. Yeah, we're doing 16 count, one strand. It's just funny. It looks good. It's gonna be finished in my stitching journal at some point if I can ever finish it. I feel like I need to redo the bird's feet because you can't even see them on there. You can barely see them in person. There's a very pale yellow in that flower that's like blending right in. So, and that's the same color that's the feet. So I just need to redo that. But I like the piece. And because, like I said, I'm pretty sure she had gifted it to me on a Patreon, something or other. It's Pattern Keeper compatible. So I loaded it into Pattern Keeper the last time I stitched on it. which is great. I don't know why I held out on getting a tablet that could use Pattern Keeper for so long, because I love it so much. I'm hearing a lot of good things about this Markup RXP or whatever it is. So I do have and I got the app before, or like got my account before. Actually, I think I paid for, because it's a paid for app, right? Because I think they're switching to a like monthly subscription thing for it. But prior to that, if you already had it the app, I think it's kind of like a grandfathered in type of thing, that if you had it beforehand, then it was just the one-time fee. Now I think it's turning into a monthly, so I could always use it at some point. I thought I had a cat behind me. I don't know where she went though. Oh, she's over there. Anyways, moving on. This is gonna be a long video. I hope you get lots of stitching in. And I forget now what Michelle had decided on doing a hashtag, like WIP Parade Progress, or WIP, I don't know, something like that. That it'd be great to see a before and after progress, because like I said, I know this is gonna be a long one. I'm getting chatty. So next, Moonshine Silver Creek sampler. I love this design, and I am getting so close to a finish, so very close. It's the moon. I just gotta finish the moon. Well, it's a little doodads around it, but for the most part, it's the moon. Well, in the face, the girl. 16 count, but stitch me in, I believe this is Artemis. Wild girl. So the statement saying, the moon said to me, do not wait to be whole to let your light shine from the depths of your soul. Man, I cannot read today. So, like I said, just have the moon, the girl, and some little doodads. This is definitely something I want to get finished. And I'm thinking I want to get that one somehow professionally framed someday. And we need another. I have the digital version of this magazine for the next piece, but I don't remember now what it is. It's a just cross stitch. If you want to know the exact issue information and everything, drop a comment below. I can dig into it. I don't have the information right here in front of me to know. I did get a screenshot from the magazine to be able to show it, but I don't remember the artist's name or anything like that either, because that's not right here in front of me. So it's called Floral Trivet Set. Like I said, it was in a Just Cross Stitch magazine. I just have the screenshot. The one I'm currently working on is, ooh, that is so not what I wanted to do. This one right here. I got plans that I'd like to do both of them, but for now, I'm just working on that one. I've got, like I said, I've got the material to be able to do the second one over here, but right now I have not worked on this one in ages. I really don't think that I've worked on this at all this year, but I do have it on. That girl cracked me up. I've got it on my list I want to finish for 2023. This one was started sometime in September of 2021. Just a random piece of blue Ada. I don't remember the dyer. It's just a solid blue. Witcheled, or no, it's not Witcheled. What's the other one? I'm sure you're all screaming it at me. Next piece, Halloween Cats, Satsuma Street. I love this piece. I love the colors. It is so good. This is stitched on a piece of 16 count Bestitch Me in Anemone. Gosh, I said it right the first time again. I love this piece. So that's the bottom of it. I definitely started it well enough to be able to stitch something else on there, which is great. That actually thought ahead on that. So yeah. So I got the whole cat body to do. Got that pumpkin. So since I worked on it last, I did work on this recently. That pumpkin is nearly done. And then there's a cat sitting here. And then I have the pumpkin on the other side. Oh, it looks like I've got one. No, I do have that tree done. So it's this little one right here. So I've got one little cat left to do, the whole big cat, and then one more pumpkin and a cat sitting over here to do. So love that piece. And that was the last of my 2021 start. So we are now into 2022. This was my New Year New Start for 2022. This is the cross stitch, just the standard cross stitch edition of Twisted Rainbow Sampler. I always get the name wrong. So this is the Twisted Rainbow Sampler. There's a version that's got specialty stitches and one that's just standard cross stitch. I'm just doing the standard cross stitch. It is on my scroll frame. I am not rolling it down. But here we go. This is whittled Ada, that's for sure. 16 count, I want to say midnight gray. And so I have the two corners completely done. I've got like 4 colors are completed, so zeroed out on those. I did, I have this on paper copy, but I also bought the PDF version. I bought this one and Leela Studio Halloween Quaker at the same time, different shops. Same night, I guess. This one is Pattern Keeper compatible because, again, standard cross stitch version. And boy, am I absolutely loving stitching this using Pattern Keeper. Perfect chart for using Pattern Keeper. So, yeah. I think I can get that all in frame right there because this Ada is quite see-through. And because I finally remembered the fabric brand that I know everyone has already told me, Zweigert. The word I was trying to think of that I couldn't on multiple, like the trivet. This could be Zweigert? I don't know. But yes, this is my Twisted Rainbow Sampler. And because of this piece, on these on this kind of a frame, and I've got one of those little TV stand tray thingies right here, I've been starting to teach myself doing two-handed stitching. So one of my next like big cross stitch investments, I want to get some kind of stand. But especially the full coverage stitching, I've really been getting into doing two-handed stitching, so that's been fun. But yeah. So that is this year's New Year New Start. I do have my 2023 New Year Start planned, but once again, it's on the other side of the room. I'm gonna go get it. But I need a drink of water. All right. And another Lindy Stitches. Beautiful Things. We're gonna hold it up so you can actually read it. Oh, my darling, it's true. Beautiful things have dents and scratches too. I love this piece. I have all of the words done. So I just have to do the bird and the fence and the border. So for some reason I haven't picked it up since I... That was upside down. There we go. That's better. I feel like I don't look at this every single time. I know this is a Bestitch Me fabric, but I do not remember the color name in it. It's beautiful. Stone something or other. I don't remember. But yeah. I also treated myself to all of the called for colors on this. I think they're all classics. I don't have it in front of me. I love this design. That's going to be a fun one to work on again as well. So this was an April of 2022 start. This is my first Mill Hill kit. It is a buttons and beads. It's the sand dollar. This one's also a gift to do for my mom at some point. So it's all a kit, so I'm using the called for everything. Perforated paper. It'll have beads. Do you like the juxtaposition of the sand dollar, but we got a penguin needle minder? I know this would have come from Abby Topknot's shop. I've gotten a couple of freebies gifted when I've placed orders, and this one's small and it's lightweight. It's wood. It is a perfect needle minder. So yeah, I really worked on this sometime this month. Again, for one of the semi-sand challenges that I've completely given up on. But I've gotten lots of progress, really working away on here. So this is someday they'll be gifted to me. Alrighty, this was started in, where's my place here? May of 2022. This pattern was also gifted to me. My sweet friend Laura, Stitching by the Shore. Country Cottage Needleworks, called Springbirds. She has recently started this, recently as in the last few months, I think. Started this herself, but she gifted this to me sometime in 2021. Very sweet of her to send that to me. I'm stitching this on a piece of coloring cotton grab bag. No clue what size, but I am using 2 strands this time. So this is probably also 16 count, really. Could be 18. But I've got 2 birdhouses started. So it looks like, yeah, so it looks like the one I just have to put in the post, but then I gotta finish up this one. This one I converted it myself to over dyed flosses. I do know that there is one DMC just because I couldn't find a good over dyed. I just went through my floss box and just, you know, picked out a blue and an orange and a pink, and I do remember that it needed like 2 different blues, and I found a really pretty variegated blue that I just am doing all of, like, there's 2 symbols that I'm using the same color for. But yeah. Loving that piece. I need to get back to this one too. I feel like I've done so little on it, but it wouldn't be that fast of a stitch. We are getting there, folks. I promise. This is definitely going to go over an hour, but getting there. My favorite series, I think, that came out this year. We all know it by now. Year in the Woods, Bald Eagle. I love this piece. And again, I forgot the name of the fabric that I'm doing it on. I actually just was working on this the day before Christmas Eve. Yeah, so on Friday, the snow day, basically, that I had scheduled off, we were hanging out and I was working on stitching. And so I finished, since you would have seen it last, I really finished up that wing. This wing is all done. And then it's going to be getting into the body. But then, so yeah, I do know, since you saw it last, I finally got the face done because I was missing colors that I thought I'd bought, couldn't find them, bought them. So I finally got them done and then was really working on the body. There's a little boo-boo there, but we're making it work. We're filling it in. It's going to be just fine. I do know 16 count bestitch me. I do not remember the color name. If you're curious to know, let me know. Put in a comment. Cottage Garden has instructions on their website of doing all of these on one big piece of material. That would be giant on 16 count. Or they also have listed doing these seasonally. So it's 3 patterns to 1 piece of material. So there's 4 pieces of material. Bestitch Me decided to, or they've got a bundle of light colors. I know there's 1 or 2 that's not an exact called for, but it's very similar. And it's gonna work perfectly fine. So it's the material that's out of that bundle, and so they're not labeled specifically to match up with that, but I went through the stack and we like figured out which piece I'm doing for which of the like summer, spring, fall, winter. So so it will eventually have all three, whatever, it's all rolled up here. I don't remember now what else is going to go on this piece. But yeah. So I got that one. And I still don't even have the full series pattern wise, but it is on my agenda to actually stitch them all. For some reason, I've only got number one, or one of them actually started. Someday. Yeah. I don't have a picture of this next piece, but I knew it was there. Okay. And now I can't even think of who it was. Oh, yes, I do. Actually, it's not going to stay on there either. Well, I can do it this way though. I don't have a picture of I don't know why I don't have a picture of this. When injustice becomes law, resistance becomes duty. 1973, 2022. Pattern keeper. It's gonna be the best way that I can really show. I don't know why I don't have the picture of it. Again, if you want the details, please let me know. It's bugging me now that I don't have that handy. My apologies for the delay on this. I know I've just labeled, oh, here we go, Rebel Stitcher. Bear with me. I don't know why I don't have the picture anymore, because I thought it was in my favorites. This was released in June of 2021, at the time that Roe v. Wade was changed. Stitches! There she is. So Rebel Stitcher Designs. There's what it's gonna look like. Sorry I didn't have that handy. But here's where we're at now. Another color and cotton grab bag. I'm pretty sure that this is like a 20 count. I am stitching this using one strand of floss, but I'm happy with it on this particular one. I feel like I remember this one being an 18. I don't know, it could be a 20. So border matched up completely. I've got the words. This is gonna be a pretty quick stitch when I get to it. I'm using Color and Cotton Dracula. We're gonna try to make this real quick because I've got like 3 more left to show. Plow trucks outside cleaning up the driveway. So Dracula, Color and Cotton. Talk about that fabulous red for the luminous fiber arts I was talking about. That would be a great red. I remember even telling myself you needed to get this pattern, and I forgot to get the picture of it. So this was a gift chart from Michelle. Betty Stitchy. That's not the one I was looking for. We'll go to the public. What do you mean there's no post? I know I can find it this way, unless she took it down. It was posted on her Patreon. And I meant to get the screenshot of it and I forgot. I really hope that plow truck is not too loud for you guys. Everyone. She released this. Here we go. It is on her Patreon, so Bendy Stitchy Designs Patreon. It is in the public post, so you do not have to be a Patreon. It is still posted. It is a gift chart. She's got it done in 2 different colorways, so pretty colors, or she also charted it all in black to do for hashtag me and this iPad are gonna go around in circles, aren't we? Black sampler November. Excuse my fiddling with the iPad there. I don't usually like to do that. So here we go. I love these grab bag color and cotton grab bags. They are the perfect size for smalls. Again, no idea what count. I think it's like a 16 or an 18. I got the border done, so I still just have the vote and then the flowers. I am using Leo and Roxy in Vampish, so it's an all just about black with a slight hint of purple if you're looking at it in the right light, I think. But and we're dropping it. So yeah, and that's the back. So we're showing you things upside down, backwards, every which way we want. So yeah. So I don't know if I'm necessarily going to save that for a finish in November, because I could see me getting that finished quite easily. So do I want to wait until November? I don't know. So that was started November 2022. And my next starts, you would think that my book would go right too. Emma Congdon, I should show you the cover. This was from Cross Stitch for the Soul. I received this book last Christmas. Flosstube itchy nose. And on a whim, I decided to start this one day. I adore this piece. Piece I'm talking about. When it rains, look for the rainbows. When it's dark, look for stars. I adore this. Just adore it. This is a color in cotton. I want to say it's an Ozark. So it's, yeah, that's pretty much what it looks like. It's a green. So we've got rain, started on the bow, B for bow, and got a border. I love the sentiments of the piece, you know, just that saying. And it's not going to be a big piece, so should be a fairly quick stitch, right? That's what we all say. All right, we are now on to the last piece. My last new starts. My latest new start, because, I mean, the year's not over yet. We could very well decide to start a new project on a whim, even though it's not first of the year yet. There's no cross-stitch rules. There's no cross-stitch police. If I feel like starting something before the end of the year, I just might. I like this design, though. Fair Isle Fantasy by, I'm stumbling over it here, Witches Garden Crafts on Instagram. There is also a Facebook group. This was a gift chart posted there. Might still be available. It would be in the files if so. Beautiful band sampler. So, me and my Color and Cotton grab bags. I'm actually thinking of restarting it. It is definitely a purple material, but it's looking really gray. It's purple, but I have definitely learned I don't like 20 count. And this is definitely a 20 count. I've counted it. I am using one strand, but my gosh, it is tiny. So I was looking through my stash last night, trying to see if I can find something else to stitch, you know, dark to stitch it on. Not quite really finding anything. So I want to stitch it, but I don't like the material. So I think I'm going to restart it. I just don't know if I'm necessarily going to restart it right away. So for now, we've got the one band started. There's still a little bit more to go through it, I believe. But it's just, it is so tiny, and I don't get joy out of working on something that takes that much work to try to stitch. So if I can find something dark enough to stitch on that, that might be a restart. All right, folks. That is my WIP Parade for 2022. I hope you enjoyed what you saw. I apologize for the little delays in trying to pull something up on my iPad. I usually try to have those screenshots, and I failed on those two. So, yeah, I am going to get this loaded. It's uploaded. It's probably going to take a little while with it being over an hour. And we're going to get back to some stitching. I got some stitching I want to do. So for now, happy stitching, happy new year from me and Stitches, because it is almost 2023. I cannot believe it. Can you say happy new year? I love her voice. I say that she had me at meow because of that voice. So keep stitching. Stitching what brings you joy. And I think that may have to be my my sign off. It has been 3 years since I've been on Flosstube now. Happy Flosstube anniversary to me last week. I didn't do anything special for it, but it has now been 3 years since I've been on Flosstube, and I think it may have to be my little sign off. Stitch on what brings you joy. So keep stitching, and we'll see you again next time. Take care, everyone. Happy New Year.